You wake up in the morning. The alarm has not even gone off yet. Your eyes open slowly, and for a moment you lie still. Then you try to move. Your lower back feels locked. Your shoulders are tight. Your knees ache before your feet even touch the floor. You sit up on the edge of the bed, and already you feel tired. Not sleepy, tired. The kind of tired that does not make sense because you just spent 7 or 8 hours resting. You stand up carefully. Your ankles are stiff, your hips feel rusted. You take a few steps, and your body moves like it belongs to someone 20 years older. You look in the mirror and you think to yourself, I feel older than I should. Maybe you are 62, maybe you are 70, maybe you are 58, but the number does not matter as much as the feeling, because deep down you know something is off. You know your body should not feel this way. You have friends your age who seem lighter, more mobile, more energetic, and you wonder what they are doing differently, or what is happening inside you that no one has explained. Perhaps you have mentioned this to your doctor. Perhaps you have had blood work done, scans completed, examinations performed, and perhaps everything came back normal. Your doctor smiled and said, you are in good health for your age, but you walked out of that office still feeling the same way, still feeling like your body is betraying you in ways that no test can capture. This experience is more common than you might think. Millions of people over 55 share this exact feeling. They look fine on paper. Their numbers are acceptable. But inside, something feels wrong. Something feels older than it should. If this sounds familiar, I want you to stay with me for the next several minutes, because today we are going to explore something that most people never talk about. We are going to uncover 5 hidden reasons why your body may feel older than it actually is. These are not obvious reasons. They are quiet. They develop slowly over months and years. Many of them happen at night, during rest, when you assume your body is healing. And because they feel harmless, because they seem routine, they go completely unnoticed. Until one day, you wake up and realize you feel like you have aged a decade in just a few years. This video is not about fear. It is about understanding. Because when you understand what is happening inside your body, you gain the power to do something about it. And in many cases, small changes can lead to profound improvements, not overnight, but steadily, gently, in ways that help you feel more like yourself again. So let us begin with number 5. This one surprises most people. Because breathing is automatic, you do not think about it. You assume your body handles it perfectly well while you sleep or sit quietly. But here is what often happens as we get older. Our breathing becomes shallow, not dangerously shallow, just slightly less deep than it used to be. The muscles between your ribs, the diaphragm below your lungs, they gradually weaken, they lose tone. And when that happens, each breath pulls in a little less air. A little less oxygen reaches your blood. A little less oxygen reaches your muscles, your brain, your organs. During the day, when you are moving and active, this effect is minimal. Your body compensates, but at night, when you are lying still for hours, the impact adds up. Your tissues receive less oxygen during the exact time they are supposed to be repairing themselves. Your muscles recover more slowly. Your joints stay inflamed a little longer. Your brain does not clear out waste as efficiently. And in the morning, you wake up feeling like you did not rest at all. This is not sleep apnea. That is a separate condition that involves actual blockages in breathing. What I am describing is subtler. It is a gradual reduction in breathing depth that most people never notice. Doctors rarely test for it. It does not show up on routine checkups, but over time, it quietly starves your body of the oxygen it needs to repair and restore itself. You might notice this pattern if you pay attention. When you are relaxed, place your hand on your belly and observe your breath. Does your belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale? Or does your chest do most of the work while your belly stays still? Chest breathing is shallower. It uses only the upper portion of your lungs. Belly breathing, also called diaphragmatic breathing, engages the full capacity of your lungs and delivers significantly more oxygen with each breath. Many people breathe shallowly for years without realizing it. The habit becomes ingrained, and the consequences accumulate silently. The good news is that breathing can be trained. The muscles involved can be strengthened. We will touch on this more at the end. But for now, just understand that how you breathe, especially at rest, has a direct effect on how old your body feels when you wake up. Your muscles are not just for movement, they are for support. They hold your skeleton in place. They protect your joints. They pump blood back toward your heart. They store energy. They even communicate with your immune system and your hormones. But muscles have a simple rule: use them or lose them. After the age of 50, the body begins to lose muscle mass naturally. This is called sarcopenia. It happens to everyone to some degree. But the rate at which it happens depends heavily on how much you use your muscles each day. Here is the problem. Modern life encourages stillness. You sit in a chair, you ride in a car, you watch television, you rest because your body asks for rest. And that rest feels justified because you are tired. But the less you move, the faster your muscles shrink. And as they shrink, your joints lose their support. Your posture changes, your balance weakens, your circulation slows, and your body begins to feel heavy, stiff, and old. What makes this worse is that the stiffness itself discourages movement. When your hips feel tight, you avoid walking. When your shoulders ache, you stop reaching overhead. When your legs feel weak, you sit down more often. And each time you sit, the muscles weaken a little more. This becomes a cycle. A slow, invisible cycle that accelerates aging without any obvious warning signs. Consider how different life was just a few decades ago. People walked more. They climbed stairs, they carried groceries, they worked in gardens. They moved throughout the day without thinking about it as exercise. Movement was simply part of life. Today, convenience has replaced much of that natural movement. We drive instead of walk. We take elevators instead of stairs. We order delivery instead of shopping. We sit for entertainment instead of moving for it. And while these conveniences make life easier, they also remove the constant low-level muscle activation that kept previous generations stronger for longer. The truth is, your muscles want to work. They are designed to be challenged, not intensely, not painfully, just regularly. Even gentle movement, done consistently, sends a signal to your body that these muscles are still needed. And when your body receives that signal, it works to maintain them. We will come back to this idea later. But for now, understand that muscle disuse is one of the most common and overlooked reasons why people feel older than they are. When you sleep, your body is supposed to be healing. Your cells regenerate, your tissues repair. Your brain clears away waste. This is the purpose of rest. But healing requires circulation. Blood must flow to every part of your body, delivering oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells. And blood must also carry away waste products, inflammation markers, and damaged proteins. Here is what happens as we age. Circulation naturally slows down. The heart pumps a little less forcefully. The blood vessels become a little less flexible. And when you lie still for hours, blood tends to pool in certain areas, especially the legs and lower back. This pooling creates two problems. First, the areas where blood collects become sluggish. They do not receive fresh oxygen efficiently, and waste products build up. Second, the areas where blood does not reach well, like the extremities and the small capillaries in your muscles and joints, become starved. In the morning, You feel this as stiffness, as heaviness, as swelling in your hands or feet, as that familiar sensation of needing several minutes just to loosen up before you can move normally. Many people assume this is just aging, but it is not inevitable. It is a result of impaired circulation combined with prolonged stillness. And there are ways to support circulation both during the day and before bed that can make a significant difference. Think about what happens when you sit in one position for a long flight or car ride. Your legs feel heavy, your feet might swell, your back stiffens. Now imagine a milder version of that happening every single night for years. The cumulative effect on your tissues is substantial. Gentle movement before sleep, proper hydration, and even how you position your body at night can influence how well blood flows during rest. These are small adjustments, but their effects accumulate over time. Some people find that elevating their legs slightly before bed helps. Others notice improvement when they take a short walk after dinner. Still others benefit from gentle calf raises or ankle rotations before lying down. The specific approach matters less than the principle. Encouraging blood flow before a long period of stillness helps your body heal more effectively during the night. Inflammation is a word you have probably heard many times. It is usually associated with injury or illness. When you cut your finger, it swells and turns red. That is inflammation. It is part of the healing process. But there is another kind of inflammation that is far more subtle. It does not come from an injury. It does not cause obvious swelling or redness. It simmers quietly in the background, day after day, month after month. This is called chronic low-level inflammation, and it is one of the most significant drivers of premature aging. As we get older, the immune system becomes less precise. It begins to produce inflammatory signals even when there is no real threat. Stress contributes to this. Poor sleep contributes. Inactivity contributes. Certain foods contribute. And once this low-grade inflammation takes hold, it begins to affect everything. Your joints ache more than they should. Your muscles take longer to recover. Your energy fades more quickly. Your brain feels foggy. Your mood shifts. You feel older than your years. The damage happens slowly. Inflammation gradually breaks down cartilage. It weakens blood vessel walls. It disrupts hormone signaling. It impairs the communication between your brain and your body. And because it does not cause obvious symptoms, it often goes undetected for years. Standard blood tests sometimes reveal elevated inflammation markers, but many people with chronic, low-level inflammation still fall within normal ranges. The problem is real, but it is hidden. What makes chronic inflammation particularly troublesome is that it creates a self-perpetuating cycle. Inflammation causes tissue damage. Tissue damage triggers more inflammation. The immune system stays activated. Energy that should go toward repair and vitality gets diverted toward managing this constant low-level fire. You might recognize this pattern in your own life. Days when everything feels harder than it should. Mornings when your body feels inflamed even though you did nothing to injure it. A general sense of heaviness and fatigue that does not match your activity level. What can be done about it? Movement helps reduce inflammation. Sleep helps reduce it. Stress management helps. Certain dietary choices help. But perhaps most importantly, simply being aware of this hidden fire inside your body allows you to make choices that calm it rather than fuel it. We have arrived at the most important and most overlooked reason why your body may feel older than it should. Hormones control nearly everything. They regulate your metabolism, your mood, your energy, your sleep, your muscle maintenance, your bone density, your appetite, your recovery, and your sense of vitality. Without balanced hormones, your body cannot function properly. And as we age, hormonal rhythms become increasingly fragile. Here is what many people do not realize. Hormones are not just about levels, they are about timing. Your body operates on a 24-hour cycle called the circadian rhythm. Different hormones rise and fall at specific times of day and night. Cortisol should peak in the morning to help you wake up. Melatonin should rise at night to help you sleep. Growth hormone should surge during deep sleep to repair your tissues. Insulin sensitivity should fluctuate with your meals. When these rhythms are disrupted, even slightly, the effects ripple through your entire system. And here is the problem. Modern life constantly disrupts these rhythms. Artificial light at night confuses your brain about when to release melatonin. Irregular sleep schedules throw off cortisol patterns. Stress keeps adrenaline elevated when it should be dropping. Eating late at night interferes with overnight repair processes, and over time, these disruptions add up. Your body loses its sense of time. It no longer knows when to rest, when to repair, when to energize, when to calm down. And without that internal clock functioning properly, everything suffers. Your muscles do not rebuild efficiently. Your joints stay inflamed. Your energy never fully restores. Your mood becomes unstable. Your weight becomes harder to manage. And you wake up every morning feeling like you aged overnight. Consider how our ancestors lived. They woke with the sun and slept when darkness fell. Their bodies received clear signals about the time of day. Their hormonal rhythms were synchronized with nature. There was no artificial light to confuse the system. No screens glowing late into the night. No irregular schedules disrupting the pattern. Today, we live in a world that ignores these natural rhythms. We stay up late under bright lights. We check our phones in bed. We eat dinner at 9 or 10 at night. We work irregular hours. We travel across time zones. And we expect our bodies to adapt without consequence. But the body does not adapt without consequence. It struggles, it compensates, and eventually it shows the strain through accelerated aging. This is perhaps the most underestimated cause of premature aging, because it is invisible, because it does not show up on standard tests, because most doctors do not ask about your light exposure, your sleep timing, or your evening routines. But the research is clear. When circadian rhythms are disrupted, the body ages faster, and when they are supported, the body has a remarkable ability to restore itself. Before we end, I want to share one simple habit that addresses several of the issues we discussed today. It is gentle, it is safe, it requires no equipment, and it is especially suitable for anyone over 55. The habit is this: a slow, intentional movement routine performed shortly before bed. Here is what I mean. About 30 minutes before you plan to sleep, spend 5 to 10 minutes moving your body very gently. This is not exercise in the traditional sense. It is not meant to raise your heart rate or challenge your muscles. It is meant to signal to your body that the transition to rest is beginning. You might start by standing and slowly raising your arms overhead, then lowering them. You might roll your shoulders backward several times. You might gently twist your torso from side to side. You might carefully bend forward, letting your arms hang, then slowly rise back up. You might sit in a chair and extend one leg at a time, rotating your ankles. These movements do several things at once. First, they activate your muscles just enough to promote blood flow. This helps circulation during the night. Second, they lengthen muscles and mobilize joints, reducing the stiffness you feel in the morning. Third, they encourage deeper breathing, which improves oxygen delivery. Fourth, they signal to your nervous system that it is time to shift from alertness to rest. And fifth, they help regulate your hormonal rhythms by reinforcing the distinction between day and night. The key is consistency, not intensity. You are not trying to stretch deeply or build strength. You are trying to move gently, breathe slowly, and prepare your body for a night of true recovery. Think of this routine as a bridge between your active day and your restful night. It tells your body that the time for doing is ending and the time for healing is beginning. This simple signal, repeated night after night, helps restore the natural rhythms that modern life has disrupted. You do not need to follow a specific program. You do not need to watch videos or count repetitions. You simply need to move gently, with awareness, for a few minutes before bed. Let your breath deepen naturally. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension of the day begin to release. Over weeks and months, this simple habit can create noticeable changes. Morning stiffness may lessen, energy may improve, sleep may deepen. And that feeling of being older than your age may gradually begin to fade. Some people notice improvements within the first few weeks. For others, it takes longer. The timeline matters less than the commitment. What matters is that you are giving your body what it needs: gentle movement, deep breathing, and a clear signal that rest is coming. Let us take a moment to reflect on what we have covered today. We began with a feeling that many people share but rarely discuss openly. The feeling that your body has aged faster than it should. The sense that something is off, even when doctors say everything looks normal. We explored 5 hidden reasons why this happens. Shallow breathing that limits oxygen delivery during rest. Muscle disuse that leads to silent stiffness and weakness. Poor nighttime circulation that impairs healing. Chronic low-level inflammation that quietly damages tissues. And disrupted hormonal rhythms that throw your entire system out of balance. None of these causes are dramatic. None of them announce themselves loudly. They are quiet. They are gradual. They are easy to overlook. And that is exactly why they are so important to understand. Because once you understand them, you can begin to address them, not with extreme measures, not with expensive treatments, but with simple, consistent habits that support your body's natural ability to heal and restore itself. You are not powerless against aging. Your body is remarkably adaptable, even now, even at this stage of life. Small changes, practiced daily, can shift the trajectory. They can help you feel lighter, more mobile, more energetic, more like yourself. The body you have today is not a finished product. It is constantly rebuilding itself, replacing old cells with new ones, adapting to the demands you place on it. When you move, it builds muscle. When you breathe deeply, it oxygenates tissues. When you sleep well, it repairs damage. When you reduce inflammation, it heals. This process never stops. It continues throughout your entire life. The question is not whether your body can change. The question is what signals you are sending it. If you spend your days sitting still, breathing shallowly, staying up late under artificial light, and carrying chronic stress, your body receives a clear message: prepare for decline. And it responds accordingly. But if you move gently each day, breathe with intention, honor your natural rhythms, and give your body the rest it needs, you send a different message. Stay strong, stay flexible, stay vital. And your body responds to that message too. If this video resonated with you, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. We explore topics like this regularly, always with the goal of helping you live better, not through hype or fear, but through understanding and gentle action. And if you know someone who has expressed that same feeling, that sense of being older than they should be, consider sharing this video with them. Sometimes, simply knowing that others feel the same way and that there are explanations and solutions can be the first step toward feeling better. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I appreciate your attention and your willingness to learn. Take care of yourself, move gently, breathe deeply, rest well. And remember, your body is not your enemy. It is your partner. It has carried you through every year of your life, and it wants to continue carrying you forward. Treat it with patience, with kindness, and with consistency. Give it the support it needs, and it will respond in ways that might surprise you. You deserve to feel like yourself again, and with understanding and gentle effort you can.